Hey everybody, welcome to the weekly Wednesday workshop. And in this workshop, we're going to take our first book, which we made out of this paper cover, and we are going to sew it up. I'm going to teach you how to get your papers punched, how to get them all lined up, and I'll teach you about this thing called creep. All right, so let's go and get started on this. All right, here we are. And I have to take my headphones off so I can actually hear myself. Hey, Gina, could you let that person in the waiting room in? Okay, so here we punched out our cover. Now, hey, Joelle, could you get me one of those books with the, one of those paper books out there, any size, any one? I just wanted to show them an alternate version of that. And I just took regular notebook paper because we were making these to fit 5.5 by, we were making a 5.5 by 8.5 sheet, which is half the size of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of notebook paper. So I just took 11 sheets and folded them in half. So when you do that, you've got this thing called creep. Can you see it right there? That's because the outside sheets have more area to go around. And so it does this thing called creep. Now, professional printers, what they have is imposition software. And so if you're printing on it, this software will make sure everything lines up perfectly in terms of the printing. But for our purposes, the creep, it doesn't matter. So here you've got your page folded in half. One tool we use for that is this thing called the bone folder. So this is a 22-year-old bone folder I had since I started. And you just take it and fold your paper in half and then just run it over there to make your crease. All right. Then the next thing you want to do, there's 11 in here because I want to pull out the middle sheet. And what we're going to do with that middle sheet is this. Open up our book. You see here you got all this foxing on here or this bleeding out. That's the paste on that side. When we put water on it, you can get water on this and it'll be fine. And if you really want to seal it, put something like Thompson's water seal or even like a lacquer, clear lacquer spray or something on it, just really lightly, and that'll go a long way. But I used to carry paper journals a long time ago, and what I noticed is that they just look better. The cover never really broke down. So here's an alternate way to do these. You can always, instead of tearing off your sides, you can just oversize them like this and then fold them to the appropriate, width once you get your paper sewn in, and then you'll have little pockets. So that's another way to do it. Just make your cover a little extra long like that. And so the stitch we're going to do today is, let me get you a sample. Oh, could you get me some scissors too, Joelle, please? Sorry. Thanks. Is this the single section 40-page journal, but this is the stitch we're going to do for one signature. Okay, and the way you get your pages centered up is to take your sheet here. I took out the middle one. I had one extra and I just took it out. And center it up top to bottom. And then I'm not sure if you can see this. Let me zoom in a little bit more here. Yeah, thanks. And there's the holes right there. And all you got to do is mark them like this. So whatever pattern, stitch pattern you decide you want to do, that's how you do it. And then I always extend them out a little bit like this. There. Okay, and then fold it back up. And then we have our punch. So you're going to find that there are, this is a flat one. There's two kinds of punches you're going to find out there. We just got these on Amazon. You can go to a pottery store and get them, wherever. One of them is going to have a rounded, you see that kind of slightly rounded end on it? And one of them is going to have a flatter end. So the ones with the flatter end are stronger. They're the same price, but these are stronger. So you want to get the one that has the flat end. If you can see it in the picture or in the story you'll be able to see it in real life for sure, but one of them is totally rounded and the other is completely flat. Now, the other thing is, if you do a lot of paper punching like we do, here's what we do. We just put a bunch of tape on ours and bunch everything up, because otherwise you've got this little thing poking into your the palm of your hand, and after punching for a while, it just doesn't feel very good. So we get it all nice and padded for us. All right, let me show you how to punch these, and then we'll sew it up. So what you want to do, basically, is just stick your paper inside, get it all lined up, and then it doesn't matter if you're right or left-handed. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to punch with my right hand and hold the signature with my left. And where I hold it is I take these 3 fingers, hold it, and I hold it right with the heel of my hand. I'm not sure. This is how I'm holding it. All the pressure is going like right here and right here. And then I'll scooch up a little bit on there, but hold it the same way. And then I'll just start punching. The first, punching, I started with the second hole just now. It doesn't matter where you start. And then you go like this. You really want to blow that hole out. And the reason for that is it will make it easier when you're sticking your needle and thread through. So there we go. First 2 holes done. And just work your way down like that. If you have long signatures, you're going to need to keep your hand closer to your work, but still you're holding it the same way. Do one more here, and that's about a little past the center, and then just keep your punch in there and flip it around like that, and make sure it's all lined up, and then continue on down. There, and there. Okay, let me pop on my headphones here. There's a delay. That's why I can't have my headphones on, because I talk and then I hear myself like with this 1 second delay or something. So if there's any questions right now, just chime in, unmute and chime in, and I'll answer them. And if not, I'll keep going. You made your template. Oh, right. So you want to make it a 1/2 inch taller. You can also cut your pages. Okay, so any other questions? All right, let's continue. Okay, so we're going to use black thread here for contrast. And this is 5-ply wax linen, but you can use polyester thread if you want. Whatever, you got to just experiment. And then I pull it over about 1 inch on each side, about roughly. This is not rocket science. It doesn't have to be exact. I'll go 1, 2, and 3 times the height of the book. And that's how you measure your thread for this stitch. For other stitches, it's more. But for this one, it's 3 times. And if you want to go a little more just because you're not sure, that's great. Thread your needle, just like that. And then take your, oops, this middle can come out now. I'm going to zoom in here so you can really get a closer look at what I'm doing. Okay, so stick your needle in the second hole first, from the inside going out. Then stick it through the corresponding hole in your cover, like that, and just pull it through. Leave yourself a little bit of a tail. Don't worry how it lines up at this point. It's going to be all floppy there. This is what I was saying at the beginning before I started the video, is that it takes sewing 5 or 6 books to really start getting used to how this all is disconnected until it's sewn up. All right, then you want to pop it back in the top hole and go through the corresponding hole in your text block. This is a text block here. And then at this point, for this stitch, I just wrap this around a couple times. If you're using wax linen thread, it's going to hold forever. However, if you're using polyester thread, you might want to put a little drop of super glue in there, because the polyester thread tends to be slipperier. And then just cut off your tail. You can go back in the first hole here, and then back in the second hole from the outside to the inside, right there. And here's where you are. So, and I like to make my threads parallel here. So, but you can do whatever you want. You can put some twists in them if you want, or whatever. And the way we did this last week is we made all these equal lengths, the stitches, but you can make them any lengths you want, in multiple lengths. All right, now we're going to drop down here to this next hole, and from the inside coming out, and we're going to go through or underneath both these threads like that. See that? And come back in this hole right here, the one we just came out of, and back into the center. Basically, you already know how to sew this book, because we're going to do the same thing all the way down. So drop down to the next hole here, go through there, and you want to go underneath these two threads. This happens all the time. You just got to deal with it, because it happens all the time. Okay, and then back through to the inside in that same hole. I like parallel. You can put a twist in them, but when I pull it through, I just hold them parallel, so it has that, so they stay parallel. Through again. By the way, this needle that I'm using is a darning needle, and you can see, check it out here. It's not very sharp. That's what makes these needles are great, because even if you're with your grandkids or your kids doing a project like this and sewing up a book, they're not gonna like stick themselves and hurt themselves. Even like this, check it out. Even scratching. I mean, I don't know if you can see how deep I'm going in there, but this is it's a great needle to work with. Okay, then we're gonna go under those upper two, come back down, and go back inside. Make sure they're parallel. Drop down again. Come out. Same deal all the way down. And as you can see, sometimes I'm sewing upside down, and I flip my book, and this is just how I work. This gives you an idea of how I sew up a book and how I handle it. As I get closer to the bottom, I turn it upside down more. There. Oh, the other thing, when you pull your thread and you pull things taut, how tight should these be? Might be something that has entered your mind. You don't want to pull really tight. You just want to pull like taut. Just take any looseness out of it. What happens if you get to the end and you see, oh gosh, one of my threads is loose? It's not going to matter, okay? Don't worry about it. It's not going to matter to the structural integrity of the book at all. All right, then we'll come down to this last one here. Oh, but when you pull in the direction of the thread that you're sewing. So you don't want to pull up like this. You want to pull down in the direction that you're sewing. Like we're sewing from the top down. So that's how you want to pull your thread, this way. Okay, underneath there again, and here. This stitch is super foundational, because when we get into like the 2-section journal here, you can see that it's just the same stitch. It's just at an angle. So that's why this is such an easy stitch. It's so easy to get started with. Sewing a book this way, you can do all kinds of great things. You can turn your book over on itself. It's not going to hurt it at all. So in the end, I take my thread or my needle. I go from the right to the left, and I put it under the hole here. Pull it taut. If you pull it too tight with the wax linen thread, it could break if you're really pulling tight on it. If it does that, don't worry about it. Just put a little drop of super glue there, and it'll last forever. Anyway, then I go the other direction from left to right, and put that in there. Like that, tighten it, and then I just do three of these, with the wax linen thread, it holds up great. If you're using the polyester thread or nylon, you know, cut your tail off like that. Be careful not to cut the stitch when you cut your tail. I've done that. And just put some super glue on it then if you're using the polyester or nylon thread. And that's it. That's the book. It's such a skinny book. But there we have it. That's all sewn up. All right, let's go back to overhead here, or frontal. One sec. All right, any questions? Nope. Okay, so that's great. Simple book, super foundational for getting to sewing up larger books, like even like this one, some of those you can see behind me. If you can sew this stitch, you can sew all those. And you can jump right into those too if you want. But this is a very easy step to get into that. All right, so what I'm going to do, sorry? What is it? Right. You mean, yeah, your cover should be heavier than one sheet of the paper. And it's a good suggestion. Right. Well, the other thing also, if you have all of that weight pulling on a super thin cover, the possibility exists that it could tear out of the cover. So that's why we use 3 pieces of paper on this cover. There's nothing tearing out of it. So, any other questions or comments? We use, you know, what I made this out of, Michelle, is Lokta paper. So all these art stores have these handmade Lokta papers in all kinds of colors and patterns and designs. And then we put a mulberry paper in the center, and that's a really strong paper. And then we hand tore all around the edges here. Yeah, if you go to our playlist, and I send that out, the playlist link out with all the replay videos, and we cover the whole paper cover thing. By the way, the paste, we couldn't get gallons, so we had to buy quarts. So a quart of paste costs about $11, not including shipping. So you definitely want to get it at Baylor's, and that's on our supplier list. And our supplier list link is in all of our, or most of our emails that we send out. So you can just click on that. All our suppliers are there. We have to add Moore and Giles to it, which is the place to get your leather. Any other questions or comments? Okay, I'm going to stop the recording. Thanks everybody for coming, and we're going to do the giveaway on this journal. So for those who are just watching this, we'll see you on the next video, and I hope you like this one.